Hello, it's week 12 of pregnancy. Now, you're probably wondering what to expect, including changes with you and baby development. Now, if you took an early pregnancy test, then it's already been 8 weeks since you've known about your pregnancy. And if you're wondering, 12 weeks pregnant is how many months? Well, week 12 is the 4th week of your 3rd month of pregnancy. In this video, we're going to be talking about baby development at 12 weeks along, symptoms and body changes you might be experiencing, and how to manage those as well. We will also talk about things you might want to be thinking about and doing this week. And we're going to check in with the mamas in our expecting crew. Welcome to the Birth Toolbox Classroom. I'm Alice, a doula and childbirth educator, going week by week through pregnancy with you. Sounds like it's time for class. What's happening with the baby's development this week? The baby, which is called a fetus, at this point is measuring about the size of a lime. So that's 2.1 to 2.5 inches or 53 to 64 millimeters in length. At 12 weeks of pregnancy, the baby's bones begin to harden and their tooth buds continue to form, which will become baby's teeth. Nails are forming on their fingers and toes this week. Another cool development at 12 weeks is with their facial features. They now have the ability to squint and frown and smile in response to stimuli. And their facial profile is more defined at 12 weeks. What symptoms should you expect at 12 weeks pregnant? Well, as we talk about symptoms and body changes, the most important thing to know is there's a wide range of symptoms that you can experience. You might experience all of the possible pregnancy symptoms or none of the pregnancy symptoms or somewhere in between. That's totally okay. But if you ever have any concern about a symptom or a body change, don't hesitate to reach out to your care provider, which could be your general practitioner or your OBGYN or midwife. Now, as you near the end of this first trimester, you might find that a few of the common symptoms that you've been experiencing aren't around this week. You might see an end to food aversions, nausea and vomiting. Your senses might also return to a normal level this week. So changes you might notice in your 12th week of pregnancy, well, if your belly hasn't popped yet, this could be the week. Clothes might be already getting a little bit tighter. You might have already put away some things that just don't fit anymore. But just like everyone doesn't experience the same symptoms, everyone doesn't experience the same body changes. Now, if this isn't your first pregnancy, you might notice that your body is changing a lot quicker this time around. But I'd love to hear how you're feeling this week. Drop me a comment and let me know. Now it's time to check in with our expecting crew and see what they're up to in the 12th week of pregnancy.
I am 12 weeks pregnant and I'm feeling pretty good lately. The last week or so has definitely been getting easier slowly. Like I didn't really notice at first that it was getting easier, and then suddenly I was like, oh, I've actually been able to work out a couple times this week and been able to eat a lot of food that I usually enjoy this week. So that's been really nice. This week I've been thinking a lot about how different this pregnancy is than my first pregnancy though. I have a little bump now. You can kind of tell when I'm pregnant if I'm dressed appropriately and, being kind of obvious about it. Not very big yet, but I was looking back at photos from my first pregnancy, and at 12 weeks, I still was quite flat and normal looking. And just in comparing photos, I feel like I kind of look similar now to the point that I did when I was 16 or 17 weeks last time. So it's super interesting just to see how your body kind of remembers your previous pregnancy and gets a little bit ahead of itself in the second time around. And even just the fact that my symptoms have been so different. I really had no symptoms at the beginning of my first pregnancy, so there was always this weird kind of dissociation from being pregnant with my first, just because I didn't really have any proof aside from every couple of months when I would have an appointment where people would hear the heartbeat or see an ultrasound or something like that, but it wasn't frequent, especially not in the first trimester. So this time, having all these symptoms and constantly being reminded that I'm pregnant is a little bit different. Definitely the fatigue and the food issues have impacted me a lot this time around, and that's especially hard to deal with having a toddler at the same time and just needing to kind of make sure that I'm able to keep up with her and, continue to be like the best parent that I can be for her, even though I'm, going through this like constant bout of other stuff of just like not feeling great. So I'm glad that I'm kind of coming out the other side of that. Hopefully. I said that once already and then it came back, so we'll see. But yeah, the fact that I feel better and can spend more time with her is really, I'm really enjoying that.
Hi, I'm 12 weeks pregnant, and this week I've been feeling pretty much like my normal self. I had a UTI starting last week, but it cleared up pretty quickly with just like a short course of antibiotics. And then as I was getting towards the end of the antibiotics, I ended up with a little bit of yeast issue, a little bit of itchiness, because I guess the antibiotics kills the good bacteria too, so then you can get yeast from that. So I had to use a little bit of cream to clear that up. But yeah, now it's doing good. And one concern I have been thinking about this week is my teeth. My last pregnancy, basically right after my son was born, I had some sensitivity at certain spots, and over time it kind of faded. The dentist told me that I had like my gums recede a little bit in those spots, just a very minor amount. But it feels like it's getting a little more sensitive again. So I'm guessing it must be just like baby taking the nutrients, and so I'm thinking like maybe do I need a better prenatal, or do I need to, get a better dental hygiene routine or go in for another cleaning? Just something that's been on my mind.
Our expecting mama shared something really important and surprising to many people about pregnancy, and that is that it takes a toll on your teeth and gums. Now, I'm adding dental visit to the do side of this week's board. Did you know that preventative cleanings and annual exams are highly recommended when you're pregnant? The increase of hormones can cause your gums to swell and bleed and trap food, and that can lead to gum disease, which has been linked to preterm birth. So don't put these appointments off until after pregnancy. Okay, on the think side, I'm putting education. Now, while it's not time to start taking a childbirth class, it's a great time to start thinking about it. Childbirth education can help take the fear out of labor and birth, build your virtual toolbox of skills for your journey to birth. I recommend that you can check in right now with your insurance company to see if they cover a class or if they reimburse for a class. I'm going to share more about the online childbirth classes that I teach ahead in the next few weeks if that's of interest to you. Thank you to our first trimester sponsor, 3 Lollies. I am thrilled to announce our first trimester sponsor, 3 Lollies. Now, if you aren't familiar with the 3 Lollies brand, you might recognize their most popular product, Preggie Pop Drops. The first trimester is a great time to have these on hand. Now, I remember when I was pregnant for the first time, and I didn't know when that nausea was going to hit. And it's called morning sickness, but unfortunately, it's not something that you only experience in the morning. Now, Preggie Pop Drops are a natural solution to this challenge. The Preggie Pop Drops come in 4 yummy flavors. They're all natural, they're drug-free. There's sour raspberry, green apple, sour lemon, and sour tangerine. I love that you can grab a package of 21 for just $5 on Amazon. Now, this is an affordable way to be prepared for the symptoms that you might face in the first trimester. So with 21, that means you can have these close by when you feel that wave of nausea hit. I would probably put 7 of them in my purse, 7 in the car, and 7 at my desk. Now, this brand has staying power. At the time of this video, they have over 20,000 Amazon reviews. So thank you, 3 Lollies, for helping us in the first trimester, and thank you for supporting childbirth education right here on YouTube. No homework this week, but I do have a request. If you've been following along the week-by-week videos with me and enjoying them, could you consider sharing them on social media or in a bump group? Shares go such a long way to get these videos out into the world, and I really appreciate your help. And I look forward to meeting you right back here for week number 13.